It's 2025, and you're standing at a crossroads. On one side is the version of you who stayed the same, still stuck, still doubting, still waiting for someday to make things better. On the other side is the version of you who took control, transformed your habits, built unshakable confidence, and created the life you've always wanted. Which path will you choose? Be honest. How many times have you promised yourself that this year will be different, only to fall back into the same patterns? How many dreams have you pushed aside because you felt too tired, too scared, or too unsure? 2025 doesn't have to be a repeat of the past. In fact, it can be the year you finally break free. But nothing will change unless you make it happen. Here's the reality. Time is moving. Whether you're re-weighty or not, every day you spend doubting yourself, hesitating, or waiting for the right moment is a day you'll never get back. The life you want isn't waiting for you. It's demanding action, your action. You don't need to have it all figured out. You just need to start. Think about it. What would your life look like if you truly committed to becoming the best version of yourself this year? Picture waking up every morning excited about your goals, confident in your abilities, and surrounded by people who uplift you. Imagine the pride of looking back on a year where you finally stopped playing small and started living boldly. That future isn't a fantasy. It's within your reach. So, what will your story be? Will 2025 be the year you finally start rebuilding yourself step by step? Imagine how far you could go if you took responsibility today. Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now. If you're ready to take control, to rebuild, and to become the best version of yourself, don't just stop here. Dive into the journey of transformation. Watch the next chapter to learn how you can take the first step in rebuilding your life. It's time to unlock your true potential and create the life you were meant to live. Chapter 1. It all begins with honesty. True, unfiltered, and sometimes brutally uncomfortable honesty. For most of us, life becomes a collection of roles we play: dutiful student, loyal friend, responsible partner, diligent worker. Somewhere along the way, we lose track of who we really are beneath all the masks. If you've ever paused, taken a deep breath, and wondered, who am I really? Then this chapter is your moment to start digging for that answer. Rebuilding yourself doesn't begin with ambition or lofty goals. It begins in the quiet moments when you decide to stop running. Running from pain, running from failure, running from the parts of your life that feel broken. Most of us carry scars, some visible, some buried deep in our hearts. These scars often tell us stories of heartbreak, of betrayal, of dreams that slipped away. But instead of seeing them as reminders of our pain, we need to see them as evidence of our survival. Take a moment to sit with your pain. This isn't about wallowing in self-pity or indulging in regret. It's about acknowledgement. For years, we may numb ourselves to our emotions, burying them under distractions, responsibilities, or even achievements. But suppressed pain doesn't disappear. It lingers in the corners of our minds, shaping our actions and choices in subtle ways. When you choose to confront your pain, you reclaim your power over it. Think of it this way. Life is a mirror. When it shatters, we're left staring at fragmented pieces of our reflection. It's tempting to sweep them away and forget about them, but rebuilding requires you to pick up each piece, examine it, and decide where it belongs in your life. Some pieces may be sharp and jagged, reminders of your toughest moments. Others may gleam with hope, representing the strength you've gained from your struggles. But all of them are essential to your journey, Honesty also means taking responsibility. This isn't about blaming yourself for everything that's gone wrong. It's about recognizing where your choices, beliefs, or actions might have led you to this point. Perhaps you stayed in a relationship long after it turned toxic, hoping things would improve. Or maybe you ignored your passions and followed a career path that felt safe but unfulfilling. These decisions don't make you weak or foolish. They make you human. But acknowledging them allows you to learn and grow. Self-reflection can be daunting, especially when it forces you to confront uncomfortable truths. Start small. Ask yourself questions like, what am I most afraid of? What am I avoiding in my life? What do I truly want beyond the expectations of others? Write down your answers, even if they don't make sense at first. Journaling is a powerful tool for untangling your thoughts and emotions. One of the most transformative realizations you'll have during this process is that pain isn't your enemy. It's a teacher. It shows you where you've been hurt, where you need healing, and where you have room to grow. Think of pain as a guide, pointing you toward the parts of your life that need your attention. Ignoring it only prolongs the suffering, but facing it head-on gives you the chance to transform it into something meaningful. There's a concept in Japanese art called kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with gold, making the cracks and flaws part of its beauty. The idea is that something broken isn't worthless. It's unique and valuable because of its imperfections. Your life works the same way. The cracks in your identity don't define you. How you choose to rebuild yourself does. As you navigate this stage of honesty, it's important to practice self-compassion. It's easy to slip into self-criticism, berating yourself for past mistakes or perceived failures. But remember, you're not alone in your struggles. Every person you admire has faced their own battles and doubts. Rebuilding isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about waking up each day and choosing to move forward, even if it's just one small step at a time. Finally, understand that honesty with yourself is a continuous process. It's not something you do once and forget about. Life will challenge you in new ways, and with each challenge, you'll discover new layers of yourself. Embrace this journey of self-discovery, knowing that every moment of honesty brings you closer to the person you're meant to be. Chapter 2. Once you've embraced honesty, the next step is letting go. This sounds simple, but it's one of the hardest parts of rebuilding yourself. Letting go means releasing the expectations, beliefs, and attachments that no longer serve you. It's about clearing the clutter from your mind and heart to make space for growth and transformation. Many of us carry invisible baggage, old habits, toxic relationships, unfulfilled dreams, and outdated definitions of success. This baggage weighs us down, making it nearly impossible to move forward. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting or dismissing these parts of your life. It means accepting them for what they are and choosing not to let them define your future. One of the first things you might need to let go of is the fear of judgment. Society often pressures us to conform to certain standards, whether it's pursuing a specific career, maintaining a perfect relationship, or achieving financial success. These expectations can become a cage, trapping us in lives that don't feel authentic. To rebuild yourself, you must prioritize your own happiness and fulfillment over external validation. Ask yourself, whose expectations am I trying to meet? Are they truly mine, or have I internalized them from my family, friends, or culture? The answers may surprise you. For instance, you might realize that you've been pursuing a goal not because it excites you, but because you think it will earn you approval or admiration. Letting go of these borrowed expectations allows you to focus on what genuinely matters to you. Another crucial aspect of letting go is forgiving yourself and others. Holding on to resentment or guilt is like drinking poison and expecting someone else to suffer. It consumes your energy and keeps you stuck in the past. Forgiveness doesn't mean condoning harmful actions or forgetting what happened. It means releasing the emotional hold those events have on you. Consider writing a letter to yourself or someone who has hurt you. You don't have to send it. It's about expressing your feelings and finding closure. In the process, you might discover a sense of relief and freedom you didn't know was possible. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself, a way to unburden your heart and create space for healing. Letting go also involves decluttering your life. This isn't just about physical possessions, though clearing out your living space can be incredibly therapeutic. It's about examining the commitments, habits, and relationships that drain your energy. Are you holding on to friendships out of obligation rather than genuine connection? Are you spending your time on activities that align with your values and goals? Or are you simply going through the motions? Take stock of your life and identify the areas where you feel stuck or overwhelmed. Then start making changes, gradually and intentionally. For example, if you've been clinging to a toxic relationship, begin by setting boundaries. If a habit no longer serves you, replace it with one that aligns with your vision for the future. One of the most liberating aspects of letting go is realizing that you don't have to have everything figured out. Life is inherently uncertain, and clinging to a rigid plan or identity can limit your potential. Embrace the idea that it's okay to change your mind, to explore new paths, and to redefine yourself as you grow. As you let go of what no longer serves you, you'll begin to notice a shift in your mindset. You'll feel lighter, more focused, and more in tune with your true self. This isn't an overnight transformation. It's a gradual process that requires patience and persistence. But with each step, you'll find yourself moving closer to the life you've always envisioned. Ultimately, letting go is an act of self-love. It's about prioritizing your well-being and giving yourself permission to live authentically. When you let go of the past, you make room for the present. And in the present, you have the power to rebuild a future that reflects your deepest desires and values. Letting go doesn't mean you won't feel sadness or grief. It's natural to mourn the loss of what once was, even if it no longer serves you. Allow yourself to feel these emotions without judgment, knowing that they are a necessary part of the healing process. Over time, you'll find that the pain of letting go is outweighed by the joy of discovering who you are and what you're capable of. In the end, letting go is about freedom. The freedom to be yourself, to pursue your passions, and to create a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. It's a gift you give yourself, a stepping stone on the path to rebuilding a stronger, more authentic version of you. Chapter 3. Rebuilding yourself is not about becoming someone new. It's about uncovering who you've always been beneath the noise of expectations, fears, and setbacks. At the heart of this process lies self-discovery, a journey into the depths of your soul to reconnect with your authentic self. For too long, you may have prioritized what the world expects of you, leaving little room to ask, "What do I want?" Self-discovery isn't a single moment of clarity. It's a series of small revelations that come when you allow yourself to listen. This begins with curiosity about your thoughts, feelings, and desires. When was the last time you asked yourself what genuinely excites you? Not what seems impressive or acceptable to others. But what sets your soul on fire? Often, the answers to these questions are buried beneath layers of conditioning. Consider the activities that bring you joy and the moments when you lose track of time. These are clues to your inner self, pointing you toward passions and values that may have been overlooked or dismissed. If you've always loved painting, writing, or helping others, ask yourself why these things matter to you. What do they represent? Self-discovery often involves revisiting the interests of your childhood, the purest version of your desires before the world told you who you should be. As you dig deeper, you'll encounter the concept of values. These are the principles that guide your decisions and define your sense of purpose. For some, values might include freedom, creativity, or connection. For others, it might be security, adventure, or personal growth. Identifying your core values is like finding the compass that will guide your rebuilding journey. When your life aligns with these values, you'll feel fulfilled and at peace. However, self-discovery isn't always comfortable. It requires you to confront your shadow, the parts of yourself you've hidden or ignored because they don't fit the image you've tried to project. Maybe it's your tendency to avoid conflict, your fear of failure, or your struggle with vulnerability. These shadows aren't weaknesses. They're opportunities for growth. By acknowledging and accepting them, you take the first step toward transforming them into strengths. Journaling can be an invaluable tool for self-discovery. Write freely about your thoughts, dreams, and fears without judgment. Over time, patterns will emerge, revealing insights about what truly matters to you. Meditation and mindfulness practices can also help you tune into your inner voice, quieting the noise of external pressures. As you embark on this journey, remember that self-discovery isn't about achieving perfection. It's about embracing your humanity, the messiness, contradictions, and beauty that make you unique. You don't have to have all the answers right away. In fact, part of the joy of rebuilding yourself is the freedom to explore, to experiment, and to evolve. The more you reconnect with your authentic self, the more clarity you'll gain about the life you want to create. You'll start to see the gap between your current reality and your ideal vision, and that awareness will fuel your determination to bridge it. Self-discovery is the foundation of rebuilding, and it's a process that will continue to unfold throughout your life. Chapter 4. To rebuild is to grow, and growth demands stepping out of your comfort zone. Comfort zones are like cozy, familiar cocoons. They feel safe, predictable, and reassuring. But while they protect you from discomfort, they also keep you from experiencing the transformative power of challenge and uncertainty. Growth happens when you dare to stretch beyond what feels familiar and embrace the unknown. Stepping out of your comfort zone doesn't mean you have to take giant leaps. Sometimes, the most profound changes begin with small, deliberate steps. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting, trying a new hobby, or reaching out to someone you admire. Each action, no matter how small, expands the boundaries of what you believe is possible. One of the biggest barriers to leaving your comfort zone is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of the unknown. These fears are natural. They're your brain's way of protecting you from perceived danger. But when fear becomes a constant companion, it can keep you stuck in a cycle of stagnation. The key to overcoming fear is to reframe it as a signal of growth. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" ask, "What could I learn?" Consider the moments in your life when you felt most proud of yourself. Chances are they involved overcoming a challenge or taking a risk. These experiences remind you that fear is temporary, but the rewards of growth are lasting. Every time you step outside your comfort zone, you build resilience, confidence, and a deeper belief in your own abilities. To make stepping out of your comfort zone more manageable, break your goals into smaller, actionable steps. For instance, if you dream of starting your own business, begin by researching your industry, networking with others, or creating a simple plan. Each small step will build momentum, making the larger goal feel less intimidating. Another powerful way to challenge yourself is to embrace failure as a natural part of growth. Society often teaches us to avoid failure at all costs, but failure is one of life's greatest teachers. Every mistake you make provides valuable insights and lessons that will guide you on your journey. When you shift your mindset to view failure as a stepping stone rather than a setback, you free yourself from the fear of making mistakes. Surrounding yourself with supportive people can also make a significant difference. Find a community or network of individuals who inspire you and encourage your growth. These connections can provide accountability, motivation, and a safe space to share your struggles and triumphs. As you continue to push your boundaries, you'll begin to notice a shift in your perspective. Challenges that once seemed daunting will start to feel exciting. Risks that once felt terrifying will become opportunities for growth. Over time, you'll expand your comfort zone, making room for new possibilities and experiences. Growth isn't about reaching a final destination. It's about embracing the journey. It's about learning to find joy in the process of becoming, even when the path is uncertain. By stepping out of your comfort zone, you'll discover not only what you're capable of, but also the incredible potential that lies within you. Let this chapter be your invitation to take that first step, however small it may seem. The path to rebuilding yourself is paved with courage, and every step you take brings you closer to the person you're meant to become. Chapter 5. True rebuilding happens when you master the art of habits. Your habits shape your days, and your days, in turn, shape your life. If you want to rebuild yourself, you must start by examining the patterns of behavior that dictate your routine. Are they helping you become the person you want to be, or are they keeping you tied to a version of yourself you're trying to outgrow? Habits are the quiet architects of transformation. While big moments of change often grab our attention, it's the small, consistent actions we take daily that create lasting results. Think of habits as seeds. Each time you repeat an action, you water the seed, allowing it to grow into something powerful over time. But just as healthy seeds flourish with care, unhealthy ones can spread like weeds, choking out your potential. The first step to transforming your habits is awareness. For most of us, habits operate on autopilot. We barely notice them. But rebuilding yourself requires bringing these patterns into the light. Pay attention to how you spend your time, where your energy goes, and the routines you follow without question. Are they aligned with the life you want to create? It's not enough to simply break bad habits. You need to replace them with ones that serve your goals. This is where the concept of habit stacking comes in. Habit stacking involves linking a new habit to an existing one, making it easier to incorporate into your routine. For example, if you want to start meditating, you might pair it with brushing your teeth or making your morning coffee. Over time, the new habit becomes second nature, seamlessly integrated into your day. When building new habits, start small. Grand resolutions often fail because they're overwhelming. Instead, focus on micro changes that are easy to sustain. Want to get in shape? Commit to a 10-minute walk each day. Want to improve your focus? Spend just 5 minutes journaling your thoughts. These small wins build momentum, boosting your confidence and reinforcing your commitment. But even with the best intentions, setbacks are inevitable. There will be days when you miss a workout, skip a task, or fall back into old patterns. When this happens, it's crucial to approach yourself with compassion rather than criticism. One slip doesn't erase your progress. It's an opportunity to learn and adjust. Visualization can also be a powerful tool for reinforcing habits. Imagine the person you want to become and the habits that person would have. If you see yourself as someone who is disciplined, focused, and energetic, ask yourself, what does that version of me do daily? Then, begin to embody those actions, even if they feel unnatural at first. Accountability is another essential ingredient. Share your goals with someone you trust or join a community of like-minded individuals. Knowing that others are cheering you on or holding you accountable can provide the motivation you need to stay consistent, especially on difficult days. As your habits evolve, you'll notice changes not just in your actions, but in your mindset. Each small success reinforces your belief in your ability to grow and adapt. Over time, these habits will become the foundation of a life that reflects your deepest values and aspirations. Rebuilding yourself isn't about perfection, it's about progress. Habits are your stepping stones, guiding you steadily toward your goals. With each step, you'll find yourself becoming more aligned with the person you've always been capable of being. Conclusion: your life is your masterpiece, and you hold the brush. The broken pieces of your past aren't a sign of failure. They're the raw materials for something extraordinary. Rebuilding yourself is your opportunity to create a life that feels true, purposeful, and uniquely yours. So take that first step, no matter how small. The future you're longing for is waiting, and it begins with the decision to rebuild.